And I'm back. Last time you'll see me for a little while, and just a short session here for you all. Hopefully you just had the opportunity to check out Kate Claybaugh. She's our Senior Government Affairs Manager, and the video about the USDA Child Nutrition Programs and the role of park and recreation agencies within those programs. Unfortunately, Kate could not be here with us today, but we just decided to do a quick overview of these programs. Just for a little more information, we know that many of you tuning in are involved in the administration of these programs, but that of course there is still room to grow. So we have a poll out there right now. Make sure that you take that poll. We are curious to know how many people are actually involved in these programs as I dive into them a little bit more. So there are really three main programs that park and recreation agencies can participate in that are federally funded by the government. The Summer Food Service Program tends to be the more popular program for park and recreation agencies, as many agencies, about 9 out of 10, offer summer camp programs in their community. So Summer Food Service programs, they are run as open sites, enrolled sites, or oftentimes in your traditional summer camp setting. Open sites can actually serve free meals and snacks to children in a low-income area, and enrolled sites serve free meals to all children in a program with at least 50% of children eligible for free or reduced price school meals. So there are some eligibility restrictions with these programs. So all sites need to be located in an area where at least 50% of those kids are on free or reduced price school lunch. Participating camps and programs actually provide reimbursable free meals and snacks to kids when school is out. And as we know, there's a huge hunger gap during summer months especially, when kids who are really relying on school lunch, school breakfast, and maybe even after school snacks are home for the summer and maybe don't have access to nutritious and healthy meals all summer long. So participating camps can actually serve meals and snacks at their programs and be reimbursed for those at no cost to the local agency. In general, SFSP sites can serve up to 2 meals, and oftentimes we see summer camp sites that are doing both breakfast and lunch, or lunch and a snack later in the afternoon. Full camps can actually serve up to 3 meals per day though, which is great. So that's a little bit of an overview on the Summer Food Service Program, what many of you will be diving into this year. Looks like a majority of people tuning in are offering a program, but there are certainly some that are not yet and working on it or need some more resources to support. So definitely reach out to Kate. We'll flash her information up in a bit, but we can also put you in touch with that. Another popular program for park and rec agencies is the Child and Adult Care Food Program, and this is typically what you see at an after-school program where sites are able to provide a snack or a meal per child in attendance. Again, there is that threshold of 50% of kids needing to be eligible for free or reduced price meals. An interesting thing about the CACFP at-risk program is that it's not only available during the school year, but it's also available on weekends and holidays. So that's a really big opportunity for park and recreation sites to provide meals to kids in their communities. We know that many of you have have spring break programs, have winter break programs, are open during holidays to provide child care services for parents and caregivers. So think about expanding your traditional after-school program into those weekends and holidays as well. And lastly, some of you may be partnering with your local school district on the National School Lunch Program. The after-school care snack service is available for all programs that are sponsored or operated by a school district, or if your park and recreation agency is serving snacks and offering their programming at a school-based site. This is a great opportunity for you. So talk with your local school district, with your food and nutrition services director, and see if there may be room to expand this to your programs as well. And quickly, just some best practices on increasing meal site participation, as this is really one of our priorities through this grant. Think about the marketing and outreach component. It's really important to get that message out to families and caregivers that these programs are there for their community during the summer and during after school, and that any child under the age of 18 can come and get a free meal. Think about some of those unique partnerships again. At the local level, think of school districts as a great potential partner. If your agency is not equipped to be the sponsor of these programs, which requires more administration and paperwork, look to an existing sponsor. Look to your school district. There's a big push these days for schools to really serve as the nutrition hubs for kids in their community. So they may already be trying to expand their efforts in this realm. Great opportunity to look at schools as a partner. Also think about the faith-based community and other local nonprofits, YMCAs, Boys and Girls Clubs, local churches and synagogues. A lot of those places are sponsoring these programs or providing meals at their campsites and their after-school programs. So look and see where you can fuel those partnerships. A great strategy for increasing the number of meals served is to offer those enrichment activities at your sites. Kids want to come to programs that are fun, that are engaging. Parents and caregivers want to send their kids to programs that offer enrichment activities, STEM, continued learning, the ability to engage in free play and outdoor time and environmental education. So think about those enrichment activities really as an opportunity to sell your programs and increase the number of kids who are coming on a consistent basis. And then another great strategy for increasing meal site participation: if kids don't like the food, they're not going to eat it and they're not going to come back. So really look at what you're serving at these programs. Ava and Daniel in just a minute are going to talk about making sure that the food is as healthy and as appealing as possible and that it's meeting the evidence-based HEPA standards, but really make sure that that food is appealing to kids and that they are enjoying it so they keep coming back for more. And one last thing that I wanted to mention, because this was something that came up last year quite a bit as we worked with our local agencies to expand meal program service. Undocumented children and families. There's a lot going on in the country right now with immigration's custom enforcement, and we heard from a lot of agencies last year that summer meal site numbers dropped because of sort of that undocumented fear, and parents and caregivers being fearful that they would have to fill out paperwork for their kids to get a meal. So that is not the case. Out-of-school time meal programs don't require paperwork or check-in procedures. So again, any child under 18 can receive a meal. So make sure that families in your community, especially those vulnerable families, are aware of that they can bring their kids to meal sites and will not have to fill out any paperwork. In addition to that, the Food Research and Action Center recently held their anti-hunger policy conference where this subject came up, and they really stressed the importance of having a plan in place if ICE shows up at a meal site this summer. So make sure that you are talking amongst your local organization and your city officials and your Park and Recreation Department about having a plan in place and making sure that staff are aware of that plan and the chain of command if that happens. So keep that in mind as you are planning out your summer meal programs, and make sure that in your marketing materials and promotional materials you're making it known to parents and caregivers that they do not need to fill out paperwork for kids to get a meal. And lastly, some advocacy opportunities. Our public policy team would be upset if I didn't mention that NRPA has a great initiative called Park Champions. We have a park champion in the room who's going to speak a little bit later. This is an opportunity to invite your members of Congress and your local elected officials out to your meal sites this summer, out to your summer camp programs, and really give them the chance to engage with kids and families and caregivers in your community. Elected officials love these photo opportunities, and many of them are home during the summer months on a little bit of time off from the Hill. So reach out to our advocacy team, Kate and Janie, our Park Champions champion, and see if we can help you get an elected official out to one of your meal sites this summer. Great opportunity for you all to get some local media coverage and a great opportunity to really bring that civic engagement factor full circle. So any questions, feel free to keep chatting those in. We want to make sure that you all take advantage of this opportunity, but we are going to do a quick transition here, and then we're bringing up Daniel and Ava from the Alliance for a Healthier Generation to talk all about healthy eating and physical activity.